Warning, the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, the world's most exciting podcast, The Savage Nation. Home of borders, language, culture, and here he is, New York Times best-selling author and National Radio Hall of Fame inductee, Michael Savage.
Welcome to the Savage Nation podcast. Of course, the big news is Trump at CPAC and CPAC itself, but it's really not CPAC. That's a rather minor event every year, and it doesn't really have much meaning. It's generally an RNC event. But having Trump there last night was a big deal because he was the reason everyone was watching it. And given the fact that Biden has not given us a State of the Union address, President Trump, in fact, did. So I'm asking this question today. Seeing President Trump at CPAC, did it represent the past of America or the future? Last year I wrote a book called Our Fight for America. The war continues. And it's a fact that the war for the soul of the nation continues. The question is, does that fight include Donald Trump? Is President Trump the past or the future? I think we found out yesterday that according to conservatives at CPAC, he is most definitely the future. Now, whether he'll run or not, I don't know, but he's definitely going to shape who does run if he doesn't. CPAC is well known for their straw poll, which gives a look inside the mind of conservatives and how they're feeling about issues and candidates. Listen to this. This year, the straw poll gave Trump a 97% approval rating. Now, they usually poll who the convention would like to be the nominee for the next election. Trump was the obvious winner, but it was only at 55%. And with Trump excluded, Ron DeSantis was the winner. And Ron DeSantis is a great, great governor of Florida. Another 95% say they want the party to advance Trump's policies and America First agenda. This should all tell you what these conservatives see, that Donald Trump is the future and not the past. But it's really not Donald Trump. It's the message that I articulated in many of my books, including my most recent, Our Fight for America.
Many people have asked, what is Trumpism? What it means is great deals, great trade deals, great ones, not deals where we give away everything, our jobs, our money. It means low taxes and eliminating job-killing regulations, Trumpism. It means strong borders, but people coming into our country based on a system of merit, so they come in and they can help us, as opposed to coming here and not being good for us, including criminals, of which there are many. It means no riots in the streets. It means law enforcement. It means very strong protection for the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms. It means support for the forgotten men and women who have been taken advantage of for so many years, and they were doing great. They were doing great before that horrible thing from China came in and hit us, and now they're starting to do really well again.
Mr. Trump gave the keynote address at this year's CPAC. Now, Biden hasn't given us a State of the Union. That's amazing, isn't it? Why? It's unheard of. Trump, in fact, gave us a State of the Union. He laid out the disastrous record of the Biden presidency that they've given us in just over a month, only 30 days.
His campaign was all lies, talked about energy. I said, this guy actually, he's okay with energy. He wasn't okay with energy. He wants to put you all out of business. He's not okay with energy. He wants windmills, the windmills that don't work when you need them. Joe Biden has had the most disastrous first month of any president in modern history. That's true. Already the Biden administration has proven that they are anti-jobs, anti-family, anti-borders, anti-energy, anti-women, and anti-science. In just one short month, we have gone from America First to America Last. You think about it, right? America Last.
He still looked like a man in charge instead of a lost vacant shell like the current occupant of the office.
And Representatives Shirley Jackson Lee, Al Green, Sylvia Garcia, Lizzie Pinelli, Pinell, and what am I doing here? I'm going to lose track here. And
Biden looks like a vacant shell. Of course, one of the first things Trump said was that he has no plans to launch a third party. That's big news. And that the Republican Party must unite.
We're not starting new parties. You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. That was fake news. Fake news, no. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Let's start a new party and let's divide our vote so that you can never win. No, we're not interested in that. We will be united and strong like never before.
That is a very important message. And he couldn't resist trolling the media and the left saying, quote, maybe I'll try to beat them a third time. Ha ha ha. He reminded America of the great accomplishments in his administration. Operation Warp Speed. Do you realize all these vaccines are here because of his Operation Warp Speed? Not letting foreign nations steal from us anymore. The great success he had on slowing illegal immigration, which is now a flood under Biden. The one thing he did make clear is the establishment is no longer in charge. He called out the Republicans who voted for his second impeachment by name.
The Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Pat Toomey. And in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger, Dan Newhouse, Anthony Gonzalez, that's another beauty, Fred Upton, Jamie Herrera Butler, Peter Meyer, John Katko, David Valadeo, and of course the warmonger, a person that loves seeing our troops fighting, Liz Cheney. How about that? The good news is in her state, she's been censured, and in her state, her poll numbers have dropped faster than any human being I've ever seen. So hopefully they'll get rid of her with the next election. Get rid of them all.
And let everyone know that he is the kingmaker in the party now. If not the king, he is the kingmaker. And of course, the president went back and revisited the election fraud debacle. I personally think he has to get away from this. Let me pause on that. He cannot mention the election fraud again. I know many hardcore conservatives who I spoke with who said, please, I hope to God he doesn't bring up that again. I don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it anymore. Now, we mocked Hillary for 4 years when she kept complaining about how the election was stolen from her. Remember that? Sour grapes? You tell me what the difference is. It's time to move past that and get on with the future, which is what the rest of this speech was about. I want to advise President Trump and his advisors, stop talking about the stolen election. Just stop it. We don't want to hear it anymore. Of course, both CNN and MSNBC did not air the speech, which is unheard of. Think about it. It was President Trump's first appearance since January 6th, a speech in which he was laying out the vision for the GOP going forward. And the vermin at CNN and MSNBC don't think this is news? Unbelievable to me that they get away with this. This is the first CPAC that was not held in Washington, D.C. The given reason is because of D.C.'s strict COVID restrictions. But the unspoken reason is that the Democrats fear conservatives coming to the home turf. Can you believe this? Why do you think the National Guard is still there? The National Guard is now the private guard for the Democrat Party because they know most Americans hate them. There's no reason for them to be there except Schumer and Pelosi. They want them as their private Praetorian Guard. They don't want any Republicans anywhere near them. They're so paranoid. So CPAC is in Florida, a wide open state, and not coincidentally, where the former president lives. It's becoming more clear to me that the Republican Party is really Donald Trump's party, and the party of his agenda, which really is my agenda and your agenda, which is the future and not the past. Borders, language, culture. Now remember the title of my most recent book, Our Fight for America. The War Continues. If you have a copy, open it up and you'll see what the war is about. It's a fact that we are fighting a war for the soul of the nation itself.